Hey guys, HittinCrits here. I am Al.
I'm Venks.
And we're here for our first day of OzCC 2014. As you can see, there is a lot of people and this is going to be an amazing day. We've seen some fantastic exhibitors already this morning. We're going to get in some interviews and stuff for you guys. Venks, what do you think?
I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, there's all sorts of celebrities that are going to show up, and Nintendo is bringing Smash Brothers and Hyrule Warriors, which isn't even out yet.
Ah, Smash Brothers! You got to be happy with that.
I know I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a walk inside because it's freezing out here in Melbourne at the moment. That wind chill factor is goosebumps. So we'll see you all in there and take a look at all the people.
The Wii U console. Fans asked for it, so Nintendo delivered. Samus, 150%. There it is, lost the life. Alright, who's this one? Does anyone know? Anyone keep score? Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Also available on Nintendo 3DS. We've got it playable to my right over here on the right hand side of the booth. Feel free to go check it out. We'll get a few more people back up on the big screen though. We're going to mix it up. Also got Hyrule Warriors on the Nintendo booth. On a punch. And of course the fan favourite Mario Kart 8. Wii U, first HD Mario Kart, check it out. It's incredible. Wow, who won? Samus. Who is Samus? Good work. How about you stay on there, eh? We'll get you stay on there, we'll get 3 more people. So 1.
So I'm here at OzCC with Guy Blumberg from PAX Australia. How are you loving it so far?
Yeah, man, it's good fun. You know, it's very colourful. OzCC got lots of people cosplaying, and of course they got the guests and the crowds. Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
Absolutely. So you're here for the entire weekend, obviously.
I am, yes.
Yeah. And is there anything special you're going to come here and see while you're here?
Well, look, we're here with a PAX Australia booth, and I think the main reason that we set up here is to have a bit more free play console stuff. So we've got the Couch Warriors guys doing some Street Fighter tournaments over there. We've got the Retro Domination guys doing some classic consoles. We've got 4-player Bomberman on the Sega Mega Drive, which is fun, on old school CRT TV, and a couple of tabletop games. So just some stuff where people can play some more games, because that's kind of what we're about. I mean, you know, 3-day passes and Saturday passes are sold out, so it's It's a bit depressing when I talk to people and they're like, hey,
oh sorry. No.
But Friday and Sunday tickets are still available, so,
Absolutely.
you know, yeah.
Yep. Well, look forward to that. And yeah, you guys need to come to PAX, and OzCC is fantastic, and you definitely need to attend next year.
Hey, I'm Venks with HittinCrits, and
Sly from Madman.
all right, could you tell us what you're doing here today at Oz Comic Con?
Yeah, so we've just set up a booth here selling our DVDs and also promoting our brand new free streaming anime service called Anime Lab. So it's a free service. You can sign up now, it takes a minute, and you get access to 55 to 60 brand new anime titles, including Terror in Resonance, which is Shinichiro Watanabe, the Cowboy Bebop director's brand new title, and also a really cool new series called Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, good stuff. What kind of stuff do you have with you here today?
Lots of things. Attack on Titan's a very big seller for us, of course. That's just launched, and also Steins Gate, Psycho Pass, and lots of other shows as well.
Fantastic. How are you enjoying Oz Comic Con thus far?
I think it's been great. You know, chance to meet some fans that might not normally get a chance to see anime.
Well, since it is Oz Comic Con, what's your favorite comic book hero?
Favorite comic book hero? Western one, I would probably say Wolverine. But manga-wise, there's so many of them. But you know, it could be anywhere from Naruto to probably Monster. Yeah.
All right, I've been hearing a lot of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Could you tell me anything about that?
Yeah, Attack on Titan's a great new series. It's about in a world where most of the human population's been devoured by these giant things. People don't know what they are. They just call them Titans. They eat people, and what's left of humanity is now hidden inside this one city, which is buried inside like three layers of walls.
All right.
And what happens is after about 100 years of peace, these Titans come and they start attacking again. One's like 60 meters tall and they can kind of break through the wall.
All right.
And our hero Eren Yeager is determined to bring down these Titans.
All right. Fantastic. Well, this is HittinCrits, and thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hi, this is Venks of HittinCrits, and
Dean Rankin.
so how are you enjoying Comic-Con thus far?
I'm having an absolute blast at Comic Con. I love coming here. The crowds have been fantastic. I've been really busy. I've been doing commissions the whole time, and it's been fantastic. I love watching people cosplay. It's been really great.
All right. What have you been doing here thus far?
So I draw comics for Simpsons and Futurama. So at Oz Comic Con, I draw people like they're a Simpsons character, or I put their heads in a jar like Futurama, and it's really popular.
Ah, yes, fantastic. Like, I've seen lots of Futurama myself.
Oh, have you?
So,
Yeah.
mhm. So, working on Futurama and Simpsons, which would you say you enjoy doing more?
I haven't done much Futurama, and I would like to do more. But Simpsons is pretty fun. I just think it's such an iconic show that when it translates into a comic book, there's so much history that you can tap into. Yeah.
Since this is a comic convention, could you tell me what your favorite comic book hero is?
It's funny, you won't be able to see this on the camera, but Deadpool is just behind us, and I think Deadpool is my favourite comic character, just because he's so much fun, you know, but violent at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. So could you give us any advice for artists that are trying to get into doing comics?
Breaking into comics is really hard, and I guess my main advice would be for artists to practice doing sequential art. What I mean by that is to tell a story with the art like a comic book, not just a picture. You know what I mean? So if you're drawing a Deadpool comic, for instance, you wouldn't just draw Deadpool. You'd put Deadpool in different poses and telling a story, that type of thing. I think would be my my number one piece of advice, to do sequential art.
Art. Is that how you started out?
Yeah. Well, I've always drawn, and I drew as a kid. But when trying to break into comics, you have to sort of draw comics.
All right, fair enough. So, like, out of all the panels and everything here, have you been able to check anything out, or have you been stuck here all day?
No, I've been stuck here all day. I did a panel just then, and that was sort of nice, and had a chance to look around. But I'm normally sort of stuck at the table, but I don't mind. Everyone's really happy. Everyone's great to come up, and you know, they get commissions from me, so it's really good.
Fair enough. When you started drawing, like, was there anything that personally inspired you to do so?
I was always a kind of a shy kid and kind of quiet, and I think, and I watched a lot of TV, so I think that was a big influence on me, like sort of early animated cartoons, Scooby-Doo and that type of thing, and I just found that was a really good way for me to express myself. I'm still not very good with words, but expressing myself with pictures is something that I think has come naturally to me.
Got you. And are there any particular artists that you really like to follow?
There's a couple of local artists who are just amazing. Doug Holgate, I'm not sure if you guys have spoken to him. David Yarden, John Somariva, they're just really fantastic. Also, there's an artist working on Hawkeye at the moment, David Adrian, and his stuff is fantastic. All their work is very different than my own because I have a very cartoony kind of style, but I appreciate good art.
I see. Do you feel that your art's looked at it a different way because of the cartoon style?
In a more negative way, do you mean? Or?
Yeah. Because I have like my stepfather, he's a comic artist himself, and he feels a little down about drawing in a
cartoony kind of style. And look, it's just me. I've tried to draw in sort of a more serious style, and it's just it doesn't feel me, and I'm not very good at it. So this is more like an expression of myself, and so no, I have no problem with drawing a cartoony style at all.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you.
My pleasure. Cheers. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Venks with HittinCrits, and I'm with
Doug Holgate. I'm a comic book artist and illustrator based in Melbourne.
All right, so how are you enjoying Comic-Con thus far?
It's good. It's been really good. It was really busy yesterday. Lots of people coming through, looking at my work, buying books, prints. I'm doing a few commissions at the moment as well for people. It's been really great, meeting new people, meeting people I've met before, catching up with other friends who are doing comics and illustration as well. So yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic. Would you or could you tell me what your favorite comic book hero is?
My favorite comic book hero? I'd probably say Tintin. That's probably the main comic. Asterix and Obelix, Tintin, but Tintin is probably the main character that influenced me as a kid, and I was reading when I was a little kid. And as I was just saying in a panel earlier, it's pretty interesting that because I've always drawn as a kid and done cartoons since I was a kid, but my artistic journey has sort of gone away from cartooning and then come back to cartooning, and going on lots of different visual sort of journeys. But I'm now back doing stuff that is very kind of heavily influenced by the things that I was reading when I was a little boy. So yeah, I would say Tintin is definitely my comic book hero.
All right. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm a freelance illustrator and cartoonist. I've been doing it for about 10 years here in Melbourne. I predominantly illustrate kids' novels, sort of eight to 12-year-old boys mostly, but all boys and girls. And I work in comics, so I've worked for Image Comics, I've done work for Dynamite Comics, Random House, and I'm working on a couple of things at the moment. I'm self-publishing a comic called Maralinga, and I have some pretty big news that I can't really talk about, but basically a graphic novel that'll be coming out pretty soon through a major publisher that I was hoping to talk about this week, but I need to sign contracts, so I can't. But yeah, very exciting. So an all-ages graphic novel, which will be coming out soon. Yeah.
All right. Can you tell us about Maralinga?
Yeah, Maralinga is co-created with a friend of mine called Jen Breach, who's writing it. I'm drawing it, and we both sort of collaborated in creating the world. And it is basically a speculative science fiction that pivots from the nuclear tests that were happening in Australia back in the 50s in South Australia, in Maralinga. And those tests go horribly wrong. And basically the whole east coast of Australia becomes a bit of an irradiated wasteland. And we then shoot forwards 300 years and we meet this little girl who is a teenage girl who's living in a village in Elwood, just in south of Melbourne. And it is her village, she's the last of her generation. And so she, on a trip into the city of Melbourne to go and get supplies, she sees other people, and they're the first people she's seen ever. And she's always just assumed that they were the only people left. And her village starts to collapse, and she has to basically go out into the wilds, the irradiated wilds of outback of Australia, to search for something to basically save her village. So it's basically The Road meets Mad Max meets Akira. Really, really exciting. Doing lots of research about Australian history and Australian, the outback and all sorts of things. So yeah.
That sounds really interesting.
Oh, thank you. It'll be out I was hoping to have it out for this show, but being busy with other things, it unfortunately took a back seat. But definitely in September, the first issue will be out. The first chapter is available online at the moment, and I'm hoping to have the first 2 chapters published in September.
All right.
At the next Oz Comic Con in Sydney. There's some pre-promotion for Sydney Oz Comic Con.
Perfect. Do you have any advice for artists trying to get into the comic book industry?
Yeah. Keep drawing. Keep creating, utilize the internet. The internet is a massive tool that I think now makes it a lot easier for people to basically promote themselves, to put their work in front of an audience that otherwise might not have seen it. Back when I started making comics, like self-publishing my own comics and sort of taking them fairly seriously back in the late 90s, and industries like what's happening in America and Europe and Asia were, they were an impossible kind of, target. There was, unless you traveled over there and sort of visited conventions overseas, there was really no outlet that you could kind of find. But now with the internet, I mean, the world is at your fingertips. So, just keep drawing, keep creating, and I would definitely put things on the web in galleries like DeviantArt or on Tumblr. You then create an audience for your work, and you never know who's looking. Like when I first started freelancing, one of my first major jobs was from a publisher who'd just seen my work online somewhere, and they got in touch with me and said, "Oh, we really saw your stuff here, and we'd really like you to do this book." And that was pretty amazing, and it still happens. Like I get people coming up to me at the table saying, "Oh, I saw this on Tumblr, or I saw that, on DeviantArt. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's funny because the internet is obviously instantly global, but the whole concept of people whom I've never met seeing my work is still quite a surprising one, and it's quite profound and kind of humbling that someone I've never met has just interacted with my work completely independently of me. So yeah, the internet, and just keep drawing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very
It's
much
my pleasure,
for
man.
the interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right.